Hello students. Here in this class we are going to discuss next part of the data sufficiency questions. Data sufficiency. That in the sense there is a question part and related to certain statements. We need to observe, analyze these statements and which of those statements are sufficient to answer the question. That's what we need to identify. Actual calculation is not needed and it is enough to check whether the statement 1 is sufficient or statement 2 is sufficient or both are sufficient. That's what we need to analyze from the given problem, right? So in the last class we already discussed about 13 questions from the data sufficiency, and now I am starting here with the 14th problem. Just look at the board. The question is there here, okay? And the question says that what is the amount invested in scheme B, right? The question part for the 14th problem is we need to calculate the amount invested in scheme B. That's what we need to calculate. And to calculate that, statement 1, okay, the amount invested in schemes A and B are in the ratio 2:3. They given that the ratio between A and B as 2:3. Since the ratio between A and B is given, so if we know A, then easily we will find B. Okay. Then statement 2. In statement 2, it is given that the amount invested in scheme A is 40% of the total amount invested. So amount invested in scheme A is equals to 40% of the total amount invested. That is statement 2. Then coming to statement 3. Now what is statement 3? The amount invested in scheme A is 45,000. Directly amount invested in scheme A is given as 45,000. So since amount invested in A is 45,000, if you use this 45,000 in the place of A in statement 1, directly you will get scheme B, amount invested in scheme B. Okay, but statement 2 is not sufficient. Why? Because here amount invested in scheme A is 40% of the total amount, but total amount is not given in these three statements. So this statement is not required actually, and these two statements are needed. So statement 1 and statement 2 are required to answer the question, and among the options your answer is right, only 1 and 3, option B. So if you choose 1 and 3, then you will get the amount invested in scheme B. That's the question. Here no need to calculate the amount invested in scheme B. Just it is enough if we are able to find out that amount invested in scheme B or not. Yes, we are able to find out. Using this A in statement 1, we will get amount invested in scheme B. That's enough, right? And your answer is option B for this problem. Now, look at the second problem on the board. Yeah. And the second problem is saying, what is the cost of flooring a rectangular hall? Okay. 15th one, and here we need to find the cost of flooring of a rectangular hall. So, in the question part, we need to find out the cost of flooring. See, cost of flooring is just nothing but area of the floor into cost. Okay, cost of flooring is just nothing but area of the floor into cost per meter square. Usually that's the rule to find the cost of flooring. And from the statements we need to find out the area as well as the cost. Okay. Then think about the statement 1. The length of the rectangle is 6 meters. Length is given as 6 in statement 1. Then think about statement 2. Breadth of the rectangle is 2/3 of its length. So breadth is equals to 2/3 of length. So that is equals to 2/3 times of 6, and that is equals to 4. So from this L, if I use as 6, I will get that breadth as 4. Okay. And statement 3 it is given. Statement 3 is mentioning that the cost of flooring 100 centimeters square is 45 rupees. See, for 100 centimeters square, it costs 45 rupees. For 1 centimeter square, 45 by 100. So anything, here the cost is given. So to find the cost of flooring, we need to multiply area with the cost per meter square. To find area of the rectangular hall, L into B is the rule. Area of rectangle is L into B. So statement 1 gives us L, statement 2 gives us B, so statement 3 indicates the cost. So area is L into B. We need 1 and 2 statements. For the cost we need third statement. At the end we need all the 3 statements to answer the question. So among the options, if you go for the 15th one, the options are all 1, 2 and 3 are required, and your answer is option C. That's the problem, right? Then you just think about 16th one. So what is given in 16? See, in how many days 10 women can finish the work? The problem is related to the time and work. So we need to utilize the logics related to time and work here. So 16th problem, what is the question part in 16th one? We need to find out the number of days for 10 women to finish the work. Okay, number of days required for 10 women. Number of days required for 10 women. So automatically within the sense to finish the work. See, number of days required for 10 women to finish the work. How can we find it? See, we have a general logic that if we know 1 day work, then its reciprocal is the number of days. Is it clear? We know it, right? If the 1 day work of a man is some 1 by D or 1 by X, then the number of days are X. So for 10 women, if we know 1 day work, then easily we will find the number of days. For 10 women, first of all, if you know 1 day work of 1 woman, then we will get 1 day work of 10 women, then we will get the number of days. Is it right? Once again I am repeating you. If you know 1 woman 1 day work, if you know 1 woman 1 day work, then from this you will get 10 women 1 day work, then from there you will get 10 women number of days. Okay, this is what we need to find. For that, statement 1, what it is given? 10 men finish the work in 6 days. See, just look there. The problem gives that 10 men finish the work in 6 days. 10 men 6 days it is given. From there you will get that 1 man 1 day work easily you will get. Okay. Then think about statement 2. Statement 2 gives us 10 women and 10 men finish the work in 3 by 7 days. It is given that 10 men and 10 women will finish the work in 3 by 7 days. And whereas if you think about statement 3, it is given that 10 men work for 3 days, and after 10 women are deployed to work for men, the rest of the work is finished in 4 days. See, first men started the work and they worked for 3 days, and after 3 days women joined, and then 4 days the work get completed. That means totally from the starting to the end 7 days men were worked, and the remaining 3 days, the 4 days 10 women are worked. Okay, here 7 days 10 women work, 10 men work, plus the last 4 days 10 women work, and then total work gets completed. So these are the restrictions given in the problem. See here, no need to calculate the values. No need to calculate 1 man 1 day work. No need to calculate 1 woman 1 day work. But we need to think which of these given statements are sufficient to answer the question. See, from the first statement, 1 man 1 day work is known. If you use this 1 man 1 day work in the second statement, from this relation, if you replace this M, you will get 1 woman 1 day work. And that's enough to answer the question. And the same way, if you have 1 man 1 day work, then clearly you will get 10 men 7 days work. If you replace here, you will get 10 women 4 days work. From there 1 woman 1 day work you will get. See, totally men and women are involved. Okay, just you leave about the days, men and women are involved. Okay, see, if you know 1 day work of a man, easily you will get 1 day work of a woman. For that, at least you need 2 equations, because 1 man work and 1 woman work are involved. You need 2 equations. Among those 2 equations, this first one is needed. Okay, either you may use 1 and 2, or you may use 1 and 3, or if you use 2 and 3, then also there is a chance to get the answer, because totally here 2 unknowns are there. 1 woman 1 day work, 1 man 1 day work. To find out those 2 unknown values, we need at least 2 conditions. And here those 2 conditions are any 2 statements among the given 3. And at the end, your answer is for the problem any 2 out of the 3, and your answer is option B. That ends the 16th problem. Just you need to analyze. Okay, no need to calculate the values, just you need to analyze which of the given statements are sufficient to answer. Okay, since there are 2 unknowns, 2 out of the 3 are sufficient to answer, right? Yeah. Then the next one is 17. Just look at the problem. We need to find out the present age of Shabir. See, the question is just related to the age of Shabir. So with the analysis of the statements, we need to find out the age of Shabir. That's enough. Okay. Statement 1 is given that the present age of Shabir is half of his father's age. So Sabir age, if you take it as f, and it is half of his father's age, so s is equals to f by 2. Okay. Then after 5 years, the ratio of the ages of Sabir and his father is 6 by 11. After 5 years, Sabir age is s plus 5 and his father age is f plus 5, and it is given as 6 by 11. And statement 3 is given that Sabir is younger to his brother by 5 years. So the difference between Sabir and his brother's age is given as 5 years. And we need to find the age of Sabir. See, it is very clear. The first relation has S and F. Sabir's age and father's age. Second relation also has S and F. Since we need to find the age of Sabir, so from these two statements, if you eliminate F, easily you will get the age of Sabir. But this third statement is not needed, not required, not sufficient. Why? Because here brother's age is involved, but in these two statements, brother's age is not included. And that's why if you use these two statements, easily you will eliminate F and you will get the age of Sabir. So for this problem, your answer is, you need statements 1 and 2 and option A. There is the problem, right? Then you need to think about 18th problem. Okay? Just have a look at the board for the 18th. What is a 2-digit number? Okay. 18th problem. Question part is to find a 2-digit number. See, usually 2-digit number may be considered as like 10x plus y, where y is the units digit and x is the tens digit. So we will consider that 10x plus y as the what? A 2-digit number. Statement 1 is given that the difference between the number and the number formed by interchanging the digits is 27. So it is very familiar actually. Number is 10x plus y, units digit and tens digit. If you interchange the digits, then you will get 10y plus x, and its difference is given like this. You need to subtract 10x minus x is 9x, y minus 10y is minus 9y, is given as 27, and from there it is very clear that x minus y is equals to 3. That's statement 1. Then you need to think about statement 2. Statement 2 is directly giving that the difference between the two digits is 3. And again here we are getting that x minus y is equals to 3. And statement 3 is given that the digit at units place is less than the digit at tens place is 3. Okay. Again it is given that what? Digit at units place. What is the digit at units place? Y. And what is the digit at tens place? X. And it is given that y minus x is 3. Statement 3, it is again giving that y minus x is equals to 3. Okay. See, since y and x are digits, the difference in the sense again x minus y or y minus x, no problem. All the three statements are conveying the same message. Okay. What is that message? The difference between one digit and the next digit is 3. Okay. The difference between x and y is 3. Since there are two unknowns x and y, at least we need two equations, but we have only one. All the three statements are conveying the same equation. So, three statements are not sufficient to answer. From the options, you need to choose that option E, none of these. Okay, and that's the 18th question. Then, you need to think about 19th one. Just think about it. Read the problem. What is the rate of interest percent per annum? For the 19th problem, the question part is asking you to find the rate of interest percent per annum. Whereas statement 1 is giving that an amount doubles itself in 5 years on simple interest. Right. On simple interest, an amount gets doubled in 5 years. We have a relation in simple interest related to the making a principal as n times. And that relation is usually RT is equals to n minus 1 into 100. This is the relation if a principal becomes n times in simple interest. And here in the problem, amount doubles itself in 5 years. So R into 5 is equals to, double means n is equals to 2 minus 1 into 100. From there it is very clear that R value is 20. So since they are asking us R, from statement 1 directly we get that value of R. Okay. Now you need to think about statement 2. And here the difference between compound interest and simple interest on a certain amount in 2 years is 400 rupees. Okay. And see, we need to check whether this statement is sufficient or not. Yeah. See, the difference between compound interest and simple interest for 2 years, we have a formula to find. See, difference between compound interest and simple interest for 2 years is given by P times R by 100 whole square. And here in this, this difference is given as 400, principal is not mentioned, so automatically rate of interest is also not, we can't find the rate of interest because principal is not known. Okay, here this difference is given but principal is not given, rate of interest is also not given, so leave that statement 2. Then you need to think about what? Statement 3. Simple interest earned per annum is 2000 rupees. Just think about it. Statement 3 is directly mentioning you the simple interest as 2000 rupees. Principal we don't know, rate of interest we don't know, but 1 year is mentioned, so into 1. So from this statement again, since P is not known, automatically R is also not known. If you look at the problem, statement 1 is directly giving you the value of R. So among the options, option A, only 1 is given. So option A is your choice. There ends the problem. Okay. Then you need to think about the next problem, and it is 20th one. Okay. Look at the board, 20th problem. And here again, the question is asking you to find cost of flooring the rectangular hall. Already we did one problem related to this. Cost of flooring a rectangular hall can be calculated by the area of the hall into cost per meter square. So we need area and cost per meter square. Maybe in 15th problem we did similar to this. Okay. And now for this, statement 1 is given. What is given? Length and breadth of the hall are in the ratio 3:2. So okay, L by B is given as 3/2. Right. And then think about statement 2. Just look at the statement. Length of the hall is 45 meters, 48 meters. Directly length is given as 48 meters and cost is also mentioned like 850 rupees per square meter. So cost is given. That's enough. Okay. Then you just think about statement 3. Statement 3 is again mentioning you the perimeter of the hall as 160. So perimeter means perimeter of the rectangle is 2 times of L plus B and it is given as 160, as well as cost is also given. See, at the end, to find the cost of the rectangular hall for flooring, you need area. Area means what? Area means actually L into B. So L into B into cost per meter square. If you multiply these three, that will give you the answer. So from the state, we need to search for them. Statement 2 is directly giving the value of L. If you use this L value in statement 1, you will get the value of B. So from these two statements, L is there, B is there, cost is also there. So 1 and 2 are enough to answer. And if you think about third statement, since here L and B are in the ratio 3:2, so use this L by B is equals to 3/2 here. Then from there again you will get the values of L and B. Is it clear? So L and B are in the ratio 3:2, right? No need to solve it. Just you need to think about it. L is some 3K, B is some 2K. If you take, replace L and B here, you will get the value of K. Since K is known, L and B are known. From there you will get area into cost will give us the answer. So 1 and 2 or 1 and 3 you need to choose to answer the question. So for this question, the sufficient statements are 1 and either 2 or 3. So your answer is option D for this 20th problem. Right? Then you need to think about the next one, and which is 21. From here onwards we have questions related to these two statements. Okay, just think about it. Yeah, 21st problem. Yes, look at the problem. What will be the amount at the end of 2 years if the interest is compounded annually? So it is very clear. The question is asking you about amount at the end of 2 years if the interest is compounded annually. So we are going to find out the amount in compound interest. So amount is equals to P into 1 plus R by 100 power 2. Since for 2 years they are asking. So now statement 1. The simple interest on the same for a period of 2 years is 400 at the same rate of 5% per annum. The simple interest on the same. Simple interest is given as 400 rupees is equals to on the same principal for a period of 2 years at the rate of 5% per annum. So 400 is equals to P into 2 into 5 by 100. From this we will get the value of P. Okay? Yeah. See, and it is mentioned that at the same rate of 5% per annum. Since they are mentioning that at the same rate of 5% per annum, see, the same R value you need to use. To find this amount, we need principal and rate of interest. From this relation, you will get principal, as well as since they are mentioning that the same rate of interest, you need to use the same rate of interest 5% again in this formula. So clearly you will get the amount in the compound interest. Okay, so statement 1 alone is sufficient, no need of statement 2 actually, but we need to analyze statement 2. The difference between the simple interest and compound interest for 2 years, see again the same rule, difference between compound interest and simple interest for 2 years is usually given by this logic, and this difference is given as 500. Okay, principal we don't know, for 2 years, okay, at the rate of 5% per annum. So from there you will get again principal value, okay, and at the rate of 5% per annum, maybe the same rate of interest you need to use. So this statement also gives you the principal and rate of interest. See, for the question you need to find out the amount in the compound interest for 2 years. So this is the formula. From this formula to calculate the amount we need principal and rate of interest. So statement 1 and statement 2 separately gives you the way to calculate principal, and directly they are mentioning the rate of interest as 5%. If you use that principal and rate of interest in the question part, you will get the amount. Okay, that is the 21st problem. Here either 1 or 2 are sufficient to answer the question. Okay, statement 1 or statement 2 are sufficient, right? Okay, then 22nd problem. Just look at the problem. 22nd, find the average of 5 consecutive odd numbers. Okay, the question is about the consecutive odd numbers. First of all, you just let 5 consecutive odd numbers. See, if you have an odd number, then the next odd number is nothing but the first odd number plus 2. Is it clear? The difference between the consecutive odd numbers is 2. So you just let the odd numbers as n, n plus 2, n plus 4, n plus 6 and n plus 8. These are the 5 consecutive odd numbers. And the question is asking you about to find the average of these consecutive odd numbers. So average is just nothing but you need to add all these things divided by 5. So if you know n, you will get the average. Average, for that you need to find the value of n. Okay. Then think about statement 1. The difference of fifth number and first number is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth number is n plus 8. First number is n. The difference is how much? N plus 8 minus n is 8. The difference is always 8, but it is given as 7. So statement 1 is completely wrong. Okay, so don't think about statement 1. Now we need to think about statement 2. The ratio of, okay, what we are thinking about, what? Yeah. The sum of first 2 numbers is 5 more than the fifth number. Sum of first 2 numbers, n plus 2. The sum is just simply nothing but 2n plus 2. And this is 5 more than the fifth number, n plus 8. So from there, if you send n this side and 2 that side, you will get that n is equals to 11. Since n is equal to 11, you know, you have all the 5 odd numbers and easily we will calculate the average. So statement 1 is clearly wrong and statement 2 is sufficient to answer the problem. So statement 2 alone is sufficient to answer this 22nd problem. No need to calculate, just you need to analyze whether that is sufficient or not. That's enough. Okay. Then think about 23rd problem. So coming to 23rd problem, we need to find the ratio of the area of the bigger circle and the smaller circle. Just look about this. We need to find the area of the bigger circle and the smaller circle. One diagram is there, one circle, the smaller circle, and the other circle, the larger circle, and the radius of the smaller circle is small r, whereas the radius of the capital circle is capital R. To find the area of the smaller circle and the bigger circle, it is enough if you know the values of small r and capital R. See, for that you just think about statement 1 is giving the radius of the smaller circle, small r as 24, whereas statement 2 is giving the difference between the radii is 3. The difference between the radii is 3 in the sense this is capital R and this is small r. The capital R minus small r is given as 3. From there we will get that capital R value is 3 plus 24 and that is 27. So just look at the problem. From this problem we have that capital R value as 27 and small r value as 24. So easily we will calculate the area of the bigger circle as well as the area of the smaller circle, and that's 23rd problem. Okay, then look at 24th problem, and for this problem both the statements are needed for 23 to answer the problem, because one statement gives you small r, other statement gives you capital R. Okay, then think about 24th problem. For this 24th problem, the question part is asking you to find the length of the triangle. 24th question part. we need to calculate the length of the train. Think about statement 1. The train crosses a signal post in 9 seconds. See, the train is crossing a signal post in 9 seconds. Time is equals to 9 seconds. Since the train is crossing a signal pole, the distance covered is just simply nothing but the length of the train, and the speed is the speed of the train. Okay. So 9 is equals to L by ST. Okay. Then think about statement 2. The statement 2, if the train with a speed x kilometers per hour crosses another train 100 meters long coming from the opposite direction at 60 kilometers per hour in 15 seconds. See, two trains are moving. Okay. And it is given that the time is 15 seconds. The two trains are crossing one another. So another train length is 100 is given. So first train length we don't know. Take it as L actually. And plus other train length is 100. Since the two trains are crossing one each other, and since they are moving in the opposite direction, we need to take the sum of the speeds. See, one train speed is x and the other train speed is 60. Okay, again here we need to replace that as speed with x. So from the first statement, if you take the speed of the train as x, from the first statement L by x is equals to 9. From the second statement 15 is equals to L plus 100 by x plus 60. So you need to solve for the length of the train these two. From this L is equals to what? 9x. So replace L with 9x. From there try to calculate the value of x. Okay. And here one more thing is, yeah, time is given in terms of seconds, and then time is given in terms of seconds, length is given in terms of meters, 100 meters, but speed is given in terms of kilometers per hour. So we need to convert this x plus 60 kilometers per hour into meters per second, and that's why here we need to multiply this x plus 60 with the, since kilometers per hour, right? So 5 by 8. So this is the second relation, this is the first relation. L and x we don't know, and we have two equations. Solve these two, you will get the value of L, and there is the problem. So for this problem you need both the statements to answer the problem. Okay, that's 24. Then you need to think about the next problem, 25. Just look at the board, 25. Here in this problem we need to find the radius of the semicircle. Think about it. The question part is radius of semicircle. We need to find out the radius of the semicircle. Statement 1 is given that area of semicircle is equals to area of rectangle. That is statement 1. Then think about statement 2. The breadth of the rectangle is 5 centimeters less than its length. Breadth is equals to 5 centimeters less than its length, and its perimeter 2 times of L plus B is equals to 50. Since 2 times of L plus B is equals to 50, L plus B is equals to 25. L plus B is equals to 25. B is equals to 5 minus L. Is it right? The breadth of the rectangle is 5 meters less than L. That in the sense you need to take it like this, L minus 5. Okay. Breadth is equals to L minus 5. L plus B is equals to 25. These two statements will give you the values of L and B. And if you have length value and breadth value, easily you will calculate the rectangle area. So, and from there you will calculate the semicircle area. So you will get the radius of the semicircle also. Okay, at the end from the first statement, radius of the semicircle is the circle area by 2, and the area of the rectangle is L into B. See, if you have L and B, replace here. So pi r square by 2 value you know. Then send this pi and 2 that side, you will get r square and r. So to find the area of the semicircle, you need both the statements together. So both the statements are sufficient. Both the statements are required to answer the question to find the radius of the semicircle. And that's the 25th problem. So this is the second part related to the data sufficiency, and we will discuss some more questions in the third part of data sufficiency. Thank you.